And let's get straight to our conversations for tonight. The past week has been a rocky start of some sort for the President Bola Tinubu, but it appears he's now trying to find its feet in the presidency now in the middle of the challenges of steering the affairs of this nation. Part of his duties constitutionally, though, will be to secure Nigeria, ensure prosperity of Nigerian people, and also play the politics of this country right. Let's get talking about some of these issues. One of it is the looming and the imminent politics of the leadership of the National Assembly as part of the formula of the APC for the presiding officers' positions in the 10th National Assembly, which will be inaugurated on the 13th of June this year. Someone like Senator Sani Musa is saying that he's not backing down and will run for the Senate president despite not being favored by the APC. Take a listen to him.
Been down by anyone. We are just dialoguing and there's consultations going on. So wherever the permutation will lie, we will take it from there. The election will be done in the chamber by all elected senators. So the issue of going against the party does not arise because we are party faithfuls. We are part of the APC and we are part of that structure that built the APC to what it is.
But there you have it. It does look like there is a whole lot that is going on in the background against the run of play. The APC says it has zoned and also, in fact, put names to some of these presiding officers. Robert, it's looking like some people are not happy with the position of the party over this. There's been some meetings with governors of the APC, leaders of the APC. We've seen meetings, of course, with some of these people in the presidential villa. In the midst of all of this, the issue of governance, the Tinubu presidency, the issue of subsidy, a whole lot of issues are on the table. And one thing is very paramount, the interest of Nigeria. Let's get talking. I have joining me to begin the conversation is a businessman now turned politician, senator-elect from Ondo State, Mr. Jimoh Ibrahim. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Shehu.
Dr. Jimoh, Mr. Jimoh, I know you've got
Dr.
a lot of from Oxford, from Harvard, all around the world, but it's good to see you. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Shehu.
Now you're in mainstream politics now.
Yes.
Jimoh Ibrahim comes with a lot of controversy, of course, in terms of your own personality. You seem to be a very controversial person.
Just like the Lord Jesus Christ.
No, you wouldn't compare yourself with the Lord Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ was controversial. He was a controversial person. So what's the Jimoh can be controversial?
All right, because the issues are there. AMCON issues, issues of you owing banks, issues of staff not being paid salaries in some of your companies, some of the companies that have failed. Where do you leave all of these coming into politics?
Which company has failed? Is Nikon Luxury not selling hotels? Is Nikon Insurance not issuing cover? Is Nigeria not doing their job? Is Energy Banks ultimately not working? Is Worldwide Fortune Dubai not selling properties? So you don't deal with fake news. Salary of all staff we pay as at May 31st. Letting one staff come and say he has not collected salary. And again, in all of these, I didn't promise that when I have 20 companies, all of them will survive. Like somebody have 20 children, some can die, some can't. Even when you have pregnancy, you can really go on that before delivery. So I used to do my best. I used my hand to sign at the time 18,000 workforce, sign salary for them in the month. How many state government are doing that? Commend Nigerians for what they have done. Commend people like us for what we have done. And I'm happy that the federal government has commended me twice. They offer me the OFR, the CFR, Commander of the Order of Republic of Nigeria. If I have not contributed to the economy, do I just pick those honors? And they are from different presidents. So we've done excellently well. Companies are doing fine. And then, of course, the one that we cannot do, like National Bureau, we close it down, and then, like Air Nigeria, we sold our interest to UBA. And then we bought at about $2. From Richard Branson, that bought Air Nigeria $1 and $640 million to the Nigerian shareholders. And I sold for $34 million. Is that a bad issue?
But you took over a newspaper. What about that today?
Well,
These
the
are
newspaper
issues.
have to come. Have to be closed down because it has to be arrested because I saw some mismanagement. And like onto journalism, journalists are not good manager of resources. They are good brilliant people in paper and English language, but to turn things around isn't easy things. And when we are ready again, we bring it back. It's in the theater, so obviously you can complete the theater for 10, 20 years. Just
Well,
like
your person is not the focus of this interview tonight, but I mean...
And the owing bank, you usually your owing bank. I don't own bank. I borrowed 22 billion naira from UBA. I used 137 million pounds as deposit for collateral. That is 4 times the amount that I borrowed. The reason for that is I wanted to set up a bank. And I knew the naira will fall, so I put my naira in pounds, I put it in the bank, and then I borrowed naira, the falling naira. So obviously speaking, they said they sold the loan to AMCON, and I asked for my deposit. And then the pound just suddenly moved from 217 naira to about 900 naira to the pound, and then Wahala started. And then the AMCON people went to court, got the injunction, and then of course I vacated the order, and since so far I've won in all the court cases. So obviously who is owing who? And again, it's Nigeria not owing.
Well, like I said, your person is not the focus of this interview.
Absolutely.
It's the issues that that brought us here, that the invitation for you tonight. But I mean, I'll begin with the issue of the economy, which is very paramount. I mean, you are from the business sector.
Yes.
A new man in the saddle, President Bola Tinubu, but you have been quoted to have said that he would do well to handle the economy of this country. With the kind of debt almost going into about 70 trillion, the debt burden total that the DMO is speculating on. How do you hope that President Tinubu can be able to handle it? There are issues and suggestions on the increase of minimum wage.
Do you think that should be a worry, a very serious problem to a president-elect? Having Nigeria debt. What is debt ratio to GDP of a country? Nigeria debt ratio to GDP is less than 30%, about 31%. So you have a window of about 70% to borrow more money. What are you doing? You are wasting your time not borrowing. Dubai is owing $167 billion. They have a population of 12 million people, of 3 million indigenous. So, and they borrow 168 billion. They develop all the infrastructure. Everything is fine in Dubai today, and then they start paying the loan back. So why should it be difficult for Tinubu to actually pay back the debt? I can give you a strategy that can make you to pay back the debt in 90 days. 90 days? 90 days. All Nigeria debt payback.
Of the monies that have been owed over the almost 20 years.
All debt payback in 90 days.
How? What is the magic?
Well, I will let that go because of my love for Nigerians. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that. I spent 6 years in Cambridge. It's not a joke, and I pay school fees. Nigeria didn't pay my school fees. But whatever it was for the purpose of our fellow citizens, what you need to do is call 5-6 Exim Bank, including China Exim Bank. Take a loan about 10 times or 5 times your whatever you are owing currently, and then do a bridge gap financing, and then pay off what you are owing, and then you have surplus, do a repayment program for 40 years, and then have an honorarium period of 10 years, and you are out of the debt. So you free many things, and you can negotiate with the creditor, because I'm going to pay you now all the debt, give me 30% discount. They do that. So go to 5-6 consortium of Exim Bank. I have my friends that we did MBA and PhD together in Cambridge, in Exim Bank Russia, Exim Bank Australia. We have David there. You have Sun in China. So these are directors of operations. Let's get consultants, get people that have knowledge. Get about 5 or 6 Exim Bank together, give a loan of $100 billion, pay whatever you are owing now, and then it means you are free for the loan. The new $100 billion loan, put it on 40 years repayment, do a moratorium of 10 years. You don't have any obligation.
Sounds easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
But for a country that the past government says that revenue has been a major problem.
Yes.
And you think that it's so easy to approach this bank and they will just give you?
They will give you because you are having a 40 years repayment schedule, 10 years moratorium period. Within the 10 years, put your house in order because you will now free 50% of that debt servicing in your budget to zero. In year one, then you have money to develop the economy. You don't have to convert complexity around you. You need knowledgeable people. Knowledge is not something you can just get on the road. You have to work for it and get it out. So if you are able to say to 5-6 Exim Bank, mind you not one Exim Bank, you are looking for 40 years loan repayment, you are looking for 10 years honorarium, you do a bridge finance, and then you say this bridge finance, even borrowing because I got an offer to pay off this bridge finance, pay the existing debts. So you get to your debt to zero. Your 50% debt servicing from your budget will be free. Then you have 40 years to pay back, 10 years to honorarium. Come back home. Why did you get it wrong? How many oil revenue can we get? How many alternative revenue can we get? How can we diversify the economy? And if we're able to get this, then within 10 years, you'll be able to have a fantastic, holistic, well-defined roadmap, financial strategy.
Have you sold this idea to President Tinubu?
Well, I've not talked to Tinubu in recent time. I spoke to him last when we were doing the campaign on Abadan projects. And he agreed with me. We had some classes in his bedroom. And he was a fantastic leader and a very good listener. And then, of course, he was there to implement some of my ideas. And, of course, I ran away to the Riverine area to look for a vote to come to the Senate. So we didn't do that. This one I gave you, I just for free. I would have been able to charge you some hundred thousands of millions of dollars into that. It's only simple advice. So people are going to Cambridge to study. I'm the first human being to get Doctor of Business from Cambridge since 2009. And I finished my thesis 3.5 years. I graduated 6 months behind schedule. I have master's in mega project in Oxford. I have MBA in Cambridge. I have LLM in Harvard. Come on. I have invested in knowledge. So if I'm telling you all of this, it's something Nigeria can do. But if you don't consult people that have the knowledge to give you...
But you are a member of the APC.
Yes.
Shouldn't you be offering some of this knowledge that you have to your party?
Did the APC pay my school fees?
But why are you a party?
Did the APC go to me in Cambridge when I was sovereign and riding on bicycle, and I had to put private jet back and fall down 3 times on bicycle?
But what's the essence
and I was crying at night.
What's the essence of you going into politics?
It doesn't matter. I will give my knowledge, but you can't force me to give my knowledge. Come on, you have to be appreciative. You need to come to me and ask and give me the respect. Then I'll give you the knowledge. You don't want to do that. If you are my son, I will not give you. It's easy to come by. So easy.
You talked about the abandoned project,
yes.
Dr. Ibrahim.
Yes.
What I've heard you say that the kind of abandoned project that Nigeria has is over 1,000, if I'm correct. Is that right?
So we have 11,866 federal government abandoned projects in Nigeria. 3 of those projects is 40% of national debt. I named them. Ajaokuta, $6 billion spent, 42 years on site, no one single road produced. Shiopi, $6.4 billion spent, it doesn't have address anymore. Second Niger Bridge, 34% completed, more than 10 years, a decade into the project. What is wrong with Nigeria?
The National Library?
The National Library, $375 billion spent, and then, of course, it's at 4th floor. I asked Jonathan during the time I was taking my questionnaire. And I said, Mr. President, why is it that you didn't complete the National Library? He said, Jimoh, when I came to office, I called them to bring the file. They brought the file, and they said the National Library is going to 13th floor. And then 13 floors, okay, where are we now? 4th floor. Okay, he told them, give me an estimate to roof the National Library at the 4th floor. The civil servant brought an estimate that is more than taking that National Library to 13th floor. So Jonathan hands off. He cannot sign it, so he left it. When Buhari came to continue 18 years abandoned National Library, you need 337 billion naira. Buhari kept his pen. He cannot sign. The library is there abandoned. Why do you need a national library in the 36 states? The 36 state citizens, 350 million will come to Abuja to come and read. It is a complete madness. 11,886 federal projects are abandoned. I have the list. That's the central piece of my PhD. And if you want to get the list from me, I mean, you have to pay a bit. You know, I don't just work for free. I'm a businessman. You just have to pay for it. And if 3 of your projects...
You sound like one of my friends way back when I was doing my master's. We call him the intellectual arrogant guy.
Yeah, maybe.
You sound a bit of like...
I have been able to deliver speeches, lectures, a technical session of International at the Time Monetary Fund spring session. It doesn't come for a a ride. It comes with money. I have been given an offer to stay in Cambridge and lecture. I supervise 2 PhD for University of Cambridge currently. I have offer for directorship of the United Nations. Then I'll just sit down here and then you just take my brain for free. It's not going to work. I have basket of solutions to Nigeria problem. If you look at your abandoned project, you can never grow in this country unless your abandoned project so resolve. And also, are you fantastic guy, and I'll be honest with you. I told him, why do you want to have Ministry of Special Duty rather than you to have Ministry of Mega Projects? We are still doing mega projects today, and they are being abandoned by a successful government. Buhari came, how many projects was he able to do from the list of 11,886? Buhari still appropriated money, even to Ajakuta, to make it even worse. He even bought over Ajakuta from the privatized people and paid $500 million. That's complete embarrassment. If you are to do a green feed Ajakuta today, you need $1.2 billion. You wasted $500 million with 3 months to the end of your government, and you think Nigeria will be able to...
Ibrahim, there are those who think that Nigeria needs,
yes,
from medium to long-term economic plan, an agenda that will surpass government,
yes,
that will help the nation focus on its priorities based on its resources and revenue projections.
Yes.
Do you think so? And how do we start that kind of idea if we were to move forward?
Diagnose the problem of Nigeria. You are talking economic theories.
What's the problem of Nigeria from your own
Diagnose Nigeria problem. Abandon projects. If you don't stop, if you see a president that does not talk about abandoned projects in his campaign speech, he's a failed president. 11,886 federal government projects. I'm not talking, Sheon, about 36 states government abandoned projects or local government 776. I'm talking about just federal government. And I investigated 40 of these projects. 40 comparison, same sector. You know, I pick, why is Ajakuta failing? Why? Why should we have Ziguero not completing on time? Cost overrun, schedule delay, benefit shortfall, over and over again, and we're in a country, we will still have a budget for this year National Assembly with abandoned project not being mentioned.
Should the president decide to consult you
yes,
and ask you to work with him, will
yes,
you jettison your senatorial seat and work with the president?
If I have the respect, I'm not going for money. I just declare over $1 trillion asset to BP Bureau or public bureau, what do we call it, public bureau, whatever you call it. So I'm not looking for money. My life ambition is my knowledge, and I have 9 university degrees.
Are you willing to use that knowledge for your nation?
I'm ready to use that for my nation, but I cannot be coerced. Understand that?
All right, let me take you to yet another very important. Yes. You've touched on the economy.
Yes.
Security is a major issue.
Yeah.
And what I read about you mentioned the issue of Boko Haram.
Yes.
And you were one of those who have criticized the manner in which Nigeria approached the fight of insecurity in this country.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, I wrote my second PhD on Boko Haram, interestingly. Now, the issue is that Nigeria has spent $1.2 trillion on Boko Haram in the last 10 years.
1.2 trillion.
1.2 trillion on Boko Haram, Google it. 1.2 trillion on Boko Haram in the last 20 years. Students that left NDA as a lieutenant, they have become major general in Boko Haram, and the war is still there. So I asked 3 questions. Is the military a challenge to herself? No. Boko Haram is a political problem. You have to look at political consideration. So you have to socialize politically to solve Boko Haram. The first thing Mr. President to do is to withdraw soldiers from the front of Boko Haram and return them to the barrack. Do you think Boko Haram will carry gun and be shooting himself? When you use unconventional strategy to approach unconventional war, you are going to fail. The military strategy here isn't the best. Military is using conventional war strategy to confront unconventional war. Boko Haram is a conventional war. You can't deploy troops. You need to look for information gathering. You have to look at socialization. You need to meet stakeholders. You have to do meetings. But when we are not in Russia against Ukraine. That's a conventional war.
What would you advise President Tinubu to do?
To go into political socialization. But I don't like to be giving this thing for free. I told you, I'm not a free man. You know, I don't really like it. But whether it works because you are mentioning Tinubu, I try to be compassionate. I've seen president there. I've been to any president. I'm a CFR. I could see any president anytime. But let me tell you, to be honest with you, you have to socialize domestically. Assuming you have spent 10% or 1.2 trillion on political socialization, Boko Haram will have disappeared. But you spend 89% on factor that is not statistically significant to confront Boko Haram. Boko Haram will be there, and who will stop it? Nobody can stop it. Unconventional war have historical trajectory.
So that also transposed into the issue of banditry.
Yes.
In the Northwest.
Of course, more things will come up in those areas. And the fact again, don't forget, government failure. Hadija hydro irrigation project in the north ought to have been completed and supply water to those greens area so that those cows can suck the greens instead of them traveling down. And don't forget that even in the northeast you talk about, poverty rate is 76%, inequity is 16%, federation of unequal opportunity. Ondo is 60% poverty, Borno is 76% in the same federation. And what are you looking for? you are boiling, insurgency, which is not too good enough.
Let me take you to politics. Since you are now in politics,
yes.
let me take you to politics. Are you a party man, Mr. Ibrahim?
I'm a party man.
Why are
to the extent that I want to win election.
Why are you running and campaigning against your party? Your party has come out with a position as far as the National Assembly leadership politics is concerned, but you are not in alliance with that. Why?
If you want to say it very clearly, I'm Yari DG campaign. Fantastic. So that's how to put it. Now, is my party above democracy? Democracy is going to be built by the people for the people. Abraham Lincoln. So my party said this is their desire. Do they say by compulsion you should go and vote for somebody? And what offense has Yari committed that I cannot run for the presidency of Nigeria? If I'm a Yoruba man, I'm a Wiyari. Is Aswaju not safe? So what are you talking about? Let's be strategic. Should we all run away from Yari and make it in Northern Affairs, and Yari will win, then there's no Yoruba face there, and how would Aswaju survive? So the key point there is that I'm not going to the National Assembly to look for money. I want to exercise my interest, what is in my mind, my desire. My people send me here. I didn't send myself. So therefore, it's very important for us to put things in proper perspective. My party up today have not called me that you must compulsorily vote for X, Y, Z.
The party has publicly announced its position.
Announcement is different from calling me.
No, the party released a position.
Yes, yeah, released a position to the press.
So you do not respect the position of your party?
Not about respect here. It's about the party informing me, and I will ask them a question. Is it by compulsion?
But do you also respect...
You cannot be compared. You cannot be compared.
No. Just a moment.
Yes.
The party has zoned, and there are thinking around the
zone. What? Does the party say nobody can contest for the post of presidency? You and just said here from your news here.
That's the reason why I asked you if you're a party man.
You said Shani Musa is running. Ojikalu is running. Osita is running. So what crime has Yari committed that I cannot run?
So let me put this scenario to you. Yeah. We have a president from the Southwest,
yes,
a Muslim.
Yes.
We have a vice president, yes, from the Northeast, yes, a Muslim. Mm-hmm. They're thinking that to balance the equation in terms of the spread and issues of religion,
yes,
don't you think the diagram you're seeing right on your screen, yeah, is a bit favorable, yeah, in the issue of zoning and religious permutation?
What does that to do with success of governments? Is that a yardstick? Is that a parameter?
For Nigeria, it's a secular state.
It's a secular state. Therefore, you do mean that because you are a religious man, then you will be successful? List 10 billionaires. Ask the number of Muslims. They're about 2%. The rest are Christians. Efficiency is not by religion. Stop this religion stuff that I don't want to hear. I have been a Muslim. I'm now a Christian. My father was an Alhaji. And now I'm a Christian. I attend the winners. Everybody knows that.
But it's not.
So what are we talking about?
It's not that straightforward, Mr. Ibrahim.
It's very straightforward.
No, it's not. Because the politics, just a moment,
yes,
the politics of Nigeria is, yes, not that straightforward.
Yes.
All over the world, it is not.
Yes.
Religion, mm-hmm, calculation are also a consideration.
If you take religion, is that the only variable? There are more than 10, 6, 7 variables.
So now I just listed 2 variables.
Now you have to find out whether the variable of religion pass statistical significant test of 0.5. No. I saw Osibajo some time ago which is settlement of this religious issue. And the question I asked, is religion scoring 0.5%? Was Adwaju elected into president of Nigeria because he's a Muslim? Was Buhari elected because he's Muslim? Was the performance of Obasanjo, came out because he's a Christian? Was Jonathan excellently performed because he was a Christian? All these are not significant.
But these top
That's
positions,
not significant at all.
If these top positions, yes, are occupied, yes, by people from a certain region of the, yes, country, the issue of marginalization, yes, is being whipped up, the issue of ethnic issues are being whipped up. Now the question is that why are you supporting Mr. Yari? Okay, there have been a time in the Senate where the president was a Christian and the deputy president was a Christian. There will be a time in in the rep when Adeola was a speaker and the other person was also a Christian. So the war didn't come down. Why are you supporting Mr. Yari? I'm sorry, because of credibility, integrity, honesty, desire for fairness, justice, pragmatic leader, somebody who have the desire, who is fair. He's a fair-minded person. Isn't it antecedent about delivery of governance? What would you say about that? Above average. And nobody have it all. Nobody know it all. Look, before I went for 6 degrees for over 10 years that I even left business, I don't know much. When I came back, even now I still listen to my colleagues. Nobody knows everything. Yari cannot be a first class today with first class in everything.
I did a first degree in LSE. I made a 2-1. In the same class, my son made the first class. So you don't have a... Yari has been governor for 2 times in Zamfara. Is that not true? He has been chairman of Governors Forum.
But the question is, how did they leave the state?
Was the state bankrupt?
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm asking you the question. Is the state bankrupt? How did other people left their state? I saw a governor sometimes ago.
Would you say he's probably the best for that position?
Who is better than him?
Compared to other...
We have Shettima there before he came, who brought in this issue of, you have forgot, this Islamic issue of dressing in Islamic manner and all that. What do you call it? The Islamic... Hijab and all that. Was that the best for our constitution? That allow you freedom of religion and exercise your rights? He brought in the Sharia. And it was a big problem for Obasanjo. It's not going to divide Nigeria. So did Jari do that? Has Jari been going to jail? Or had he been arrested and charged for criminal offense? Let's be honest.
Mr. Yari has gone to court to ask for an expert. He got an expert injunction that he should not be arrested.
No. He's not that he should be arrested forever. He said my rights are threatened because I have desire to be Senate president. Don't arrest me until I finish the election on the 13th. The court adjourned thereafter. You can arrest him after. But this time, what does the Constitution say? Fundamental human rights enforcement. You are a lawyer, upcoming. So what does it say? If your right is going to be submerged, you approach the court. I've taken federal government of Nigeria to court how many times? On our 16th, and I won in all the cases. Look, where Obasanjo was going to leave, he took over Nikon, Nigeria Re, and my hotel. I told him, I'm not begging anybody in Nigeria. I'll collect my company back. Because, they are sure, in Ojukwu and Lagos State government, say what? Executive lawlessness is not time of the violation of the Constitution. If performed in civilian era, too bad. I want to call my call back. Now, wait, just a minute. Now, when Jonathan came, here in Nigeria, you are go here and there, I sold. Because I don't want to drag that in court, because I don't want the plane to crash. So, I sold from $2 to $35 million. I collected my UBA paid. Now, when Buhari came, he brought Amcon, buru. One morning, they've taken over all the company. I went back to court and said, my lord, this is the receipt of my deposit of £137 million in the bank. It's 7 times higher than the amount they are claiming. They didn't disclose to you before. Court said, why didn't you tell me he has £137 million? All the injunction granted, hereby vacated. Was going to dustbin. So what are we talking about? We have capacity to enjoy.
Our time is over.
Yeah.
But just in 30 seconds, the last question I have for you is about Nigeria Air. There is an inquiry today, and they said, look, some of those things that have been displayed by the outgone government was shrouded in secrecy. Yeah. Is it a good time for us to start another national carrier?
What is the business of government in airline business? You're not a fraud. That thing is complete fraud. This company belongs to me. I call it Nigeria. Here, Nigeria. You then put the air at the back of Nigeria. You don't call Nigeria. That is stealing. If I go to corner, there was Jimoh is causing trouble. It's controversial. I could stop everything about that process. And you spend billions of Nigerian money when university teachers are not being paid salary. You are putting billions on this. I think this is complete disservice to the nation. And whoever is involved is unfortunate. They should come under the law.
Mr. Jimoh Ibrahim, businessman turned politician now. Thank you so much indeed for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice to be with you.
I appreciate it.